Hey guys, I'm Sam from Family Handyman, and today I'm going to show you make a compost recycling station for your kitchen. Once I had the measurements of the cabinet, I began planning on my cuts. I decided to use maple plywood for this project because maple is durable and it's one of the best types of wood to use for kitchen cabinetry. To cut out the pieces, I used a circular saw with a guide, and for the smaller pieces or the duplicated sizes, I used the table saw. For the angled cuts on the partitions, I also used a circular saw. Next, I pre-drilled the holes to fasten the partitions to the front using 1 1/2 inch wood screws. I attached the back to the partitions the same way I attached the front. I used a Craig pocket hole jig to make the pocket holes for the dividers. This tool is not necessary, but it definitely makes drilling pocket holes so much easier and quicker. I secure the dividers in place between the partitions with pocket screws. Then I flip the top board over to lay out the bin locations, keeping in mind the compost bin is not the same size as the other 3 bins. With a jigsaw, I cut the openings for the bins. The 3 bins I'm using for this project have stiffening ribs, so I marked where the ribs are and used a jigsaw to cut curves for each rib, and then sanded the openings smooth using 180 grit sandpaper and went over it with 220 grit sandpaper. Once the bin openings were finished, I flipped the top over and attached the top to the front, back, and partitions using pocket holes. Later, I'll be attaching the cabinet doors to the pull-out, so I marked and pre-drilled holes through the front board with 2 holes at the top, the center, and the bottom. Next, I attached 22-inch drawer slides to the assembled pull-out. I applied a gel top coat with a foam brush for extra protection. While the top coats were drying, I attached the drawer slides to the cabinet. Once the top coat was dry, I inserted the pull-out into the drawer slides in the cabinet. Typically, you'll hear a click when the slides lock into place and when the drawer is pushed in all the way. Lastly, I attached the cabinet doors by driving screws into the pre-drilled holes from the inside of the pull-out. I drove the screws in just far enough so that their points poke through the outside. Then I pushed each door into the screw points. The screw points help mark the cabinet door so I know where I'll be driving the screws in. With the pull-out extended, I located the screw indentations and drove screws to hold the doors in place. Now simply place your bins inside the station, and then you're all set to have organized and hidden garbage, recycling, and compost bins. For more projects, check out familyhandyman.com.